Right, we're going to record, share the screen. Okay, so yesterday we were, oh boy, what is going on here? That was weird. We were reading the story about why the poison dart frog is so colorful. And so, let's quickly take us to here. So while we are analyzing the story, I want you to keep some things in mind. Narrative writing. Think about narrative writing. So we said narrative texts tell a story and entertain the reader. Does this story fit that category? Yep, for sure. And then we really are going to focus on one certain section of our list today. Narrative texts have a clear sequence of events that make sense and are easy to understand. So does this story have for most of us, we would think of that as a sequence of beginning, middle, and end, right? Those normal kind of parts. Sometimes larger stories have more than just a beginning, middle, and end. You might have a couple different parts in the middle. And we used this sort of picture here. I'm gonna escape out of there for just a second. Let's look at this real quick. So how many sections does this story probably, this story, because it's a little bit longer, probably have? And I'm gonna fool you here a little bit, so look carefully. How many sections do you think the story might have? Instead of just having a beginning, a middle, and an end, which would be 3 parts, how many does this one look like it might have? And I'm going to give you a hint. It's a little trickier than it looks. Ryder, what do you think? 7 parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then where would 7 come from? What part would you add to that? Say it again? Never mind. Okay, I'll give you a hint. It's not 7, but I love that you tried. Lyric, what do you think? So that would be the logical guess, right? 6. It's not 6. That's why it was a little tricky. But I'll see if what the other answers are, and then I'll tell you why you weren't. That was the logical answer. You're right, Lyric. Paxton, what do you think? 5. It is 5. Do you know why it's 5, Mr. Paxton? Perfect. Paxton, do you want to teach EL today? Because you are amazing. So Paxton said that the point doesn't always have its own section of the story. The point comes in throughout the story, doesn't it? The point is, what is the message or the purpose of the narrative? Do you actually, does the author usually just say what that is? No, we have to do what? Infer, right? We have to infer it. Okay, and sometimes in this case, we know that the point also has to do with a little bit that has to do with the fact that we have like the title, right? Now, we're going to see today that they actually do have a section of the point, but a lot of stories don't. It's within that. So we're going to be talking about stories that have 5 basic sections, okay? So we're going to actually start writing or planning a group story today. And then after we're done with the group story, not today, but at home after Thanksgiving break, you're going to start to write your own story, your own pourquoi about frogs. All right. So we're going to look at a couple other stories first. We looked at one already. Yesterday, we analyzed why, what was that story? What's the first one? Why? No, not the pollywogs. Thank you. Why frogs have long tongues. And now we're looking at why poison dart frogs are colorful, right? Okay, so that's what we're going to look at. And then once we finish that, we're going to go back and see if you have any more questions to add to our why list. Because a lot of you had more questions yesterday, but I ran out of time and paper and brain power to get those down. But you'll see the ones from yesterday for sure. All right, so we're going to start with our story again. I'm not going to reread the whole thing because we don't have time. Hey, everybody who has can everybody get their workbook on page 12? Yes, Miss Isabella.
We can't see your screen. It says Miss Lori Harrison has started sharing her screen. That's all it says.
But you can't see it? Oh,
yeah.
That happened yesterday, didn't it? That was weird. Okay, let me do it again and see. Thank you, Isabella, for being. Oh, weird. Okay. Okay. How's that? Did it come back, Isabella? Okay. Whew. Whew. All right. Thank you for letting me know. I don't know why that didn't work. That's weird. I didn't do anything different than I normally do. And everybody here could, oh, who knows? Technology. It's out to get me today. I'm cursed. All right. So, yes, Miss Renee? Okay. Do you want to go? Just go get it. It's okay. Go get your book. It's no problem. No worries. Just go quietly because she's testing Max for a minute. All right. So, page 12. Everybody see page 12? 12. I see some people who are not on page 12, and we need to make sure everybody's on page 12. Okay. So, just a reminder. First, oh, now you can't see that camera. There we go. All right. So, first, they established the situation. Where is our story taking place? Yeah, deep in Africa in a secret magical cave. That's what Haley told us. All right. When did our story take place? Long, long ago. Okay. So they established the situation long, long ago in Africa near a cave. Does that give you something in your head to think about? Yes. Establish the situation. Who are my characters? That's what that symbol there stands for, right? Characters. Nixon. Oh, excuse me. I called them Nixon. Thank you. Rana. And then Rana has some friends. Marin, who are our friends? Drab, ash, and gray. And drab was a word that came up in OG yesterday, and we were remembering that it was a name in our story here. So there was our first, that we talked about what those frogs were. And then we had a problem. What was the problem? Who remembers what the problem was? Lila Morris. He set the bed on fire because he was doing what? He was trying to light a torch to see in the cave, right? The caves are dark. And then all of a sudden he let the bed on fire. That's not good. And then what did he think? This is where we left off yesterday, I remember. Because I was making you point to things, right? I was making you point to different parts. Okay, tell me what Rana said to react to the problem. Ellie. He said, help, please help me. First line. What was he thinking? Because the characters, in a good story, characters think about the problem. Lyric. He knew he had to find a way out. It doesn't say he thought, I need to get out. But by saying he knew, we know that he was thinking, right? You can use our brains for that one. All right, and then, so what did he do? Our characters react. They have to do something cool. He ran for the entrance, but what happened? It's in flames, so can he get out? No. And then what happened to his little friends? They hopped back into the cave. Is that a bad idea? Oh, we think so, maybe. All right, so that's where we stopped yesterday. So here we go. Now, let's look here. What do you notice about this page on page 14? Two suns. Two suns. So why do you think in this particular story, instead of just having one block of sun, They have two. Why might you have, what does the sun stand for, first of all? What does the sun stand for, Madison?
It stands for
It's the solution to the problem. Why do you think there might be two sections? Elena, why do you think? Because does it sometimes to solving a problem take a lot of work? Sometimes solving the problem it can't be just solved in one small paragraph. Sometimes we need a little extra writing. All right, so let's see how they broke it up here, because in a moment we're going to start planning and getting ready to write our group story. All right, so gotta get Ethan in. Thank you. All right, I'm going to make this a little bigger, but everybody at home, and then it's also attached to the assignment if you don't have it yet. I think everybody mostly's got it now, though. All right, here we go. Everybody's listening? Everybody on page 14? Where should your eyes be? On the text, right? Here we go. Rana thought, ooh, more thinking. How strange it seems to be getting cooler. Then he saw a giant crack in the cave wall. Rana scooped up the 3 frogs and wriggled through. First, Rana took a deep breath of fresh air. Then he bent down to see if Drab, Ash, and Gray were all right. Okay, so we had some thinking going on that the character is doing. And we also have some action, don't we? What happens next in our story? He's trying to solve the problem. He can't get out the entrance, so he's getting out he's going back. And what does he find that he didn't see before? There was a crack in the wall. And then he gets through it and and it's nice and cool, isn't it? All right, let's see what happens next. Rana was amazed. Is that also thinking? Yes. That's not doing. That's not saying anything, but can it be amazed be thinking? Yes. Now we know how and that's how the character feels, right? When we are amazed. Drab, Ash, and Gray were safe, but they were not dull and green anymore. Drab was ruby red with flecks of gold. Ash was a bright sapphire blue with streaks of black. Gray looked like a shimmering rainbow. The walls of the cave had melted and coated the frogs in brilliant colors. All right, so the solution to our problem with being in the fire was that the heat, right, melted, but were they okay though? Yes. Now, is this a true story? My friends at home, is this a true story? No. It's a made-up story. If stuff melted and coated the frogs, would that be very good for the frogs in real life? No, it would not. But remember, these are pourquois. They're stories that are made up so that they can explain how whatever happened with the frog, right? So it's okay that it's a made-up story. It's supposed to entertain us anyway. All right, now here's our point. And like Matt Paxton said, a lot of times there isn't an extra section that is the point that's explaining things. It's throughout the story. But they wanted to go ahead and show you what it would look like if you were trying to make it a little bit more obvious to your reader. So here's some more talking. Here we go. Now, no one will ever forget your bravery, said Rana. And to this day, the children and grandchildren of those little frogs have beautiful skin, the color of gems. We talked a lot about those colors yesterday, didn't we? When we talked about poison dart frogs. And so we can really imagine in our brains what they must have looked like when they came out of the cave, right? All those brilliant, bright colors. And so now to this day, it says the children and grandchildren are going to be colored. Is that right? Are poison dart frogs nice and bright in color? They are, right? So this is our story about, it's a pourquoi, telling how something happened. And if we go back to the title, it's why the poison dart frog is so colorful. Is it really about them being brave? No, which is kind of like what a moral of the story was, right? If you're brave, then you can overcome anything, or if you're persevere. That's a lot of what we did for the last module, right? we're gonna have the hat, we need to wear it appropriately. Thank you. All right. So this one didn't have really a moral or a lesson other than why the poison dart frog is so colorful. All right. So I hope you have some more questions now, because I have, let me open my, here we go. Here's my list. Try to get everything out of the way. So here are our ones from yesterday. I'm gonna have you go ahead and look at them for a second. Actually, I'm gonna try to get rid of all the things in my way. Okay, just review them for a second. I know they're gonna far for somebody in the back. Thank you, Miss Liz. I'll read them. Need more paper. All right. Why do frogs have long tongues? Why are frogs poisonous? Why are frogs different colors? Why do frogs jump? Why do frogs jump so far? Because we had 2 questions there. Why do frogs eat flies? Why aren't, and we could even change that to why do frogs eat insects, or why do frogs eat, whatever we want to add in there. Why aren't frogs fast? Why do frogs start out as a tadpole? Why do frogs' eyes bulge? Why are they so small? Why are poisonous dart frogs not white? Why can't all frogs climb trees? Wow, we had a lot of things, didn't we? There was a lot of options there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add some more that are not to that list. The idea is that reason we're making this list, and we're going to make it nice and long, put lots of ideas on there, because you're going to want to choose one, not necessarily, because you're going to be writing a pourquoi about frogs. So you are going to ultimately end up choosing a question, maybe on our list, maybe not, but this is a good brainstorming technique to make sure that we have some good ideas. So more why questions to add to our list that I just showed you from yesterday. Abby. Okay. Why do tree frogs live in trees? That could be a fun story, huh? That could definitely be good. My friends at home, I'm gonna see if anybody here has an idea. Oh, I'm having troubles today. All right, Ben, do you have an idea?
Frogs start out as tadpoles?
Yes.
Why do frogs live in ponds?
Why do frogs live in ponds? I like it. Did you turn off chat so they couldn't do it? Oh, because you got in first. That's one of those things. When I do it, it doesn't have a problem. It's just when you get in first, then it doesn't. Thank you. You're the lenient one. Teasing you. Miss Haley, calendar.
Why do frogs eat flies?
Why do frogs eat flies? Okay, yeah, okay. So that's a perfectly good, that's a good question. We've got, see this, it's on this one over here. Why do frogs eat flies? Do you see it after jumping? It's right there. So do you have another one you can think of, Haley? One that's not on our list? I'll come back. If you think of another one, do you want to add that's not on there? I've got August. What do you think? Why do frogs have a bubble in their throat? Throat when they croak. So why does their so why when they're making that croak sound? So remember, we might know the real answers, but are we talking about real answers right now? No, we're coming up with ideas for a story that would be creative about it, right? Gabe. Why do frogs croak? That's a good one. Why don't they peep or like a chicken, right? Or like a chicken, or why don't they, make other sounds? You could make a really great story about that, right? Why they end up doing that, that'd be awesome, for sure. All right, Charlie. Why do frogs not make honey? That would be a very creative story. I like it. Let's go ahead and try one that goes with actual frogness. But I like your creativity, Charlie. Don't get me wrong. I like your creativity, but let's try to stick to the actual frogginess. All right, Logan. Logan Peters? What do you think?
Why do frogs jump high?
Why do frogs jump high? I think we've got that one on our list. Oh, I guess I have so far. Do you want high? So high, you want that? I can add that in there too. That one, it says so far, but I could add in so high. I'll add that to that question there. Okay. All right. Astria?
Why do frogs have like slimy skin?
Ah, there's a good one. That sounds like a good story, doesn't it? All right. Awesome. All right. Let's see. I'm working through my other friends. Haley, you thought of another one? Go for it.
Why are frogs green?
No, we don't have that one. Awesome. Yeah, we'll add that in there. Why are some frogs? Yes. Because we know the other ones are different colors for sure. All right, Lila Morris.
Why are poison dart frogs? Why do poison dart frogs have spots or like a pattern on them?
All right. Can I put PD so that I don't have to write that out all out? Poison frogs have spots. We call them bands, etc. Why do they have those interesting markings? Okay, awesome. All right. Still looking to see my friends at home have some more ideas. Anybody? Ben, you've got another one. That's good. All right, Ben.
Why do frogs not sew?
Why do they not what? Say again.
Why do frogs not sew?
Sew? Like put things together. Needle and thread. Okay, so all right. That is an interesting idea. That kind of goes along with Charlie's honey idea, right? Why do they not do things that are different? Okay, I like that, buddy, but I want to stick with things that are mostly about why frogs are actually the way they are. And I don't know that they're building any, I don't know that they're putting clothes together these days. Although frog and toad wear clothes, don't they? So I guess. Surname. Okay, give me your favorite, because unfortunately I have to. Ah! Do we? I think that's why are they colored. Do we have why they're poisonous? I don't think so. Oh, why we have why are frogs poisonous? I guess you could change it to dart frogs. You could change that to dart frogs. All right. What was your second one, Serne? Okay, and we also have that one. Well, we have why are frogs different colors, but you could also make one wire that poison. We could make it specific for poison dart frogs. Sure it could. That would be great. Paxton, did you have one? That was the same one. All right. All right. Sunny. Why are frogs so different? And you know what? When we are in this module, you are going to find out about some crazy frogs. Some crazy. So you have no idea how realistic that question is, because we are going to learn about some frogs that around the world that do amazing weird things. So that you could have a story of why definitely how two different types of frogs, right, are completely different for sure. Max.
Why are frogs in different states?
Why do frogs live in different places, maybe? Yeah. Okay. All right. All right, my friends at home. Logan, did you have another idea? Logan?
Why are frogs and toads different?
Ooh, you're gonna have to say that one more time because for some reason I can't hear you quite.
Why are frogs and toads different?
Why are frogs and what different?
Toads.
Toads.
Toads, got it. Why are frogs and toads different? Okay, I know we have so many more hands up, but I am running out of room. You guys could, just because you have questions, yeah, doesn't mean it doesn't get, yeah, we're just not gonna write it down right now, but you guys can still use your questions if you have them in your head. Madison?
Why do frogs have like bulging?
Oh, we've got that in there. Why do frogs' eyes bulge? We got that one. So you're good, you're covered. You're covered on that. Henrik? Why are frogs creepy? Okay, so creepy isn't that an opinion? So we want to focus it on their bodies or their lives or something like that. So I don't think they're creepy. So that might be hard for me to try. I mean, your story might be a little hard to, what is it about them that makes them creepy? Do you think? Is it because they have slimy skin, or because their eyes bulge, or what do you think makes them creepy? Okay, so I think that you could probably use one of those questions as your story and still get your creepy idea across. Okay, does that make sense? All right, Nixon. Okay. Why do some frogs hide under the mud? So you guys are amazing. I want to point out, because usually when I make my anchor chart, the kids run out of ideas before I run out of space. This year, you guys, I already have that one list, and now I have another list, and we can even add more to it next time. So, but I do have to stop for that because we are going to, that's okay. You guys have great, great ideas. I am so amazed. Mrs. Aubin, they are so creative, aren't they? We would be, literally, but I have to do, we have about a half an hour, and I need to get, I came up with a little video about poison dart frogs that I want to be able to show you, but I won't be able to unless we get our job done. So today's job is to work on getting a plan for our story that we are making together. So eventually you are going to make a plan for your story. So today you're going to go onto page 10. So go back to page 10. Everybody's going to be with me. So you're going to do this with me, Mr. Fenn. You're going to need your pencil. Turn around for me. So we are going to come up with together. This is our story. This is third grade story. But you eventually are going to write your own. So really pay attention to what we put in these sections, because that's going to help you for your story, okay? So our question that was chosen for us, oh, Mr. Nixon, that better go in a pocket or it's going to go in my green bucket. You don't want it to go in the green bucket. Why do pollywogs wiggle? Remember our pollywog poem? About how they wriggle and shiver and quiver and jog and all those great words, right? So why do pollywogs wiggle in real life? We kind of talked about this. Why do they wriggle and wiggle and shake and quiver and all those words that we came up with? Robert?
So they can move.
So they can move, because what do they not have?
Legs.
Legs. They don't have any legs. So they have to move. And they need to get from one place to another, right? So if that's true, so that's the real reason why they wiggle. But we need to come up with an idea of a story about why, a made-up story, a narrative, of why they would actually do that in a made up situation. So I'm going to give you an idea that we aren't going to do ourselves, but I'm going to tell you what a third grade before did. Okay? We're going to come up with something different, but I want to just give you an idea. So the baby frogs, tadpoles in other words, right? Pollywogs, were having in their story last year or the year before, they decided they were going to have a dance contest. And the tadpoles all had to practice their wiggling dance. And that's why pollywogs wiggle. Now, there was a whole story involved of why. And then another class picked because they wanted to get away, a fish was trying to eat them. And they had to figure out a way to get away from the fish. Okay? So we've got to come up with, so this got to put on our thinking caps. And I know that some of you are going to come up with an idea, and some of you are going to come up with a different idea, and some of you are going to come up with another idea. And can we use all those ideas in our story? Possibly not. So, and if we want to get this done, because we need to get it done today so that we're ready for when we come back to move on, got to get this done today. So sometimes Mrs. Harrison is just going to have to cut you off and make a choice, okay? Not because, just for sake of moving on. So let's give some ideas. We're going to take, let's see, I'm going to pick some popsicle sticks. So everybody think of an idea of why you think, I'll put these back in here for this purpose. Think about why pollywogs might be wiggling instead of just, because they have to. All right, think about it, think about it, think about it, think about it. All right, Miss Booker, what do you think?
They were in a rush to get toilet paper.
Rush to get toilet paper. Was there a pandemic going on? So Haley said they were rushed, the pollywogs were rushing to get toilet paper. All right, Leo, I got your popsicle stick. Any ideas about how or why pollywogs would wiggle? Mr. Leo, what do you think?
To run away from enemies.
To run away from enemies. So kind of like what the other class did to get away from a fish? Or we could be a different animal though? Okay, I like it. I like it. Good job. How about Max? F. To get away from a predator. What predator do you think we might want to do? Another fish? Okay, awesome. Henrik. Okay, so that's so they can move. Why would they move? So, they want to go find some food. That's different than getting away from a predator. Good job. Charlie Carr. To get to King Soopers. All right. What are they planning on buying at King Soopers? Food? All right. Toilet,
They're planning on
toilet
buying
paper.
frog.
All right. Lila Mars.
They're in a contest, but they're
Oh, hey guys, we're listening to each other's answers.
in a contest where they have to wrap a birthday present with their body.
Oh, wrap a birthday present with their bodies, like a contest. Oh, very interesting. Hi, Miss Chris.
I have a message for you and for Haley,
Okay,
a reminder that you can't pick up today instead of us.
thank you. All right, very good. All right. Mr. Lucas, any ideas? Want me to come back? Okay, Ben. Mr. Ben, any ideas?
No.
No. You're gonna go with one of ours. Okay, Marin is not here. Oh boy. All right, last one. Last one here. Lyric. Ooh, say one more time. What kind of contest? Okay, so we got some contest. Hey, Lucas, did you think of one? Okay, I'm gonna put you back in the bin then. Okay. All right. So interesting. We had a bunch of trying to get away from predators, and we had some contests, and we had some survival of the pandemic. Kind of interesting. How about, okay, so what is happening? We're gonna say the pollywogs are trying to get away from, let's do something other than something that's in the water. What could be trying to eat them? Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Hey guys, I can't hear anybody clearly. So, a bird? A fish? Why would a person want tadpoles? Paxton, what kind of animal? Okay, I'm calling on Paxton. Paxton. Fish. Well, we just said something other than a fish. What can we have other than a fish? We give a bird. I liked raccoon. Oh, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're excited. Shush. It's hot. Pressure's on, Paxton. Sorry. We're going with it, whatever you come up with. But think about something that actually eats tadpoles. What? Cats? I would think maybe more like a snake or a bird or a fish or a raccoon. No, we're not picking dinosaurs. You guys are silly. Paxton, what do you think? Hey, guys. We got to get through this. Okay, Paxton, I'm going to put you back in the bin. All right, that was too much pressure. I'm sorry. Charlie V, are you still here? Mr. Charlie Van Rickley, what would you like our tadpole to be escaping from?
A lizard.
A lizard? All right, I like it. All right, we're getting away from a lizard. Awesome job. All right, so think about it. Then where is our story going to take place? Abby, where would our story take place where we have a lizard? A pond? Where should that pond be?
In a mountain.
Okay, so we have lizards. So we might want to think about, well, maybe that's the problem. It's a pond after a rainstorm. Because they do have ponds eventually. I mean, they're Savannah. Okay. We have a lot of lizards going on here. All right, when should this story be taking place? When do you think, Sir Renee? A long time ago. Okay. Now, I hope you're filling these in. We're filling these in. Oh, yes, you are writing them on page 10. All right. All right, so we need some main characters. Here we go. I need some names. Here, let's see, our main tadpole, Ellie. What's our main tadpole's name going to be? Okay, I'm only listening to Ellie, please. Maddie. All right. And we need some tadpole friends. So give me a name, Cooper. Bill? Bill, got it. That's okay. I like Bill. And Surnay, what's another one? Pressure's on, I know, I'm sorry. It's just a name. Pick anything. Fred. Oh, say it again. Flower. Bill. Flower. And Nixon. So the good thing about this is, oh, wait. If I didn't call on you and you have a name, guess what you have automatically done for yourself when you write your story? You've come up with some ideas. All right? Yeah, oh, Nixon. Gotta decide. Henrik, I can't hear past you because you're talking to August. Phil? Bill, Flower, and Phil. All right, so think about, we have the ones in the story were tiny or small, tiny, and tiniest, right? So what are likely our frogs to be? What's a describing word that we can put in there? Abby. So they're big frogs? Big. Okay. So are they, so if you're a tadpole though, you're not going to be big because you're not a frog yet, right? Well, they could be tiny. I mean, I don't mind them being big, but they could be, what's another thing? Could they be fast? Yes. No, you're writing my plan with me. This is our plan. So you're going to have this as an example when you write your own plan. So when you come up with some great ideas that we don't put down on here, you're going to save them to write them in your story. Good, Claire. This is not your story. This is our story for now. Okay? Small. Okay, she's sticking with small, tiny, and tiniest, right? All right. All right. So what is our problem? Should we give our lizard a name? Or would a lizard have a name? I don't know. Josh, what should we name our lizard friend? Hey, I would love it if I could just hear Josh, please. All right, Noah. Paxton. Go with my. What's it? What? Can we just keep it something simple for me to write each time? Show. Excuse me. Yeah, Steve. Steve. All right. The pollywogs are trying to keep away from Steve, the lizard, but they have, what are they missing? But they have no legs. All right. Oh. So, hey, Mr. Ryder, we're talking one at a time. Do you have this written down? That's what you're writing down. So are you writing this down? Do you have this down, Tim? Robert, is this written down? I don't think you have all of this. Yeah, thank you. All right. Pollywogs are trying to keep away from Steve the lizard, but they have no legs. So are we obviously going to have more details than that in our actual story? Yes. this is just a plan. We are just getting our ideas started. When we write the actual sentences, we will have a lot more involved.
Yes.
But right now, I'm just getting our ideas. So this next section we're going to skip for right now because we're going to talk later about words that show order of events. So we're going to skip this section for a little bit. So give me a thumbs up when you've finished copying, both at home and in class, so I know where you are. Mr. Cooper, are you done? Okay, just needed a thumb. Thank you. So what I'm going to keep this up here because I know people are still thinking, but I also want to show you what's coming next so the people who want to have ideas can think ahead. So just give me a second and I promise to show it back to you again. Here's our middle of our story, right? Here is what our characters are feeling, what our characters are thinking, what our characters might say, and anything else that they might do to add that. Okay, I'm going to put that back up. I want you to be thinking. Because right now, the whole point of this is why polywogs wiggle. So they're in the water, in the pond, right? Along comes a lizard. Lizard's trying to do what? Eat them. So to eat them, to kill them, right? To eat them. So Steve is hungry. So, but we're focusing on our main character, Maddie. What would Maddie be feeling most likely? Okay, so we're thinking about what Maddie would be thinking. Sunny, what do you think? Okay, so might be scared. I'm going to try to see if I can. I wish I could. I'm going to. Modern technology. Scared. What other feelings, Abby? Oh, okay. All right. Worried. They might die. Now, there are some friends with Maddie, right? So could Maddie also be protective? Okay, maybe feel protective of the friends. Could Maddie be brave, possibly? Can you be scared and brave at the same time? Yeah, right? You totally can. You can be scared and worried, but you can still be brave enough to solve the problem, right? Scared, brave, protective, worried they might die. What else could they think? What else? Maddie's got to get us out of this situation, doesn't she? So, Marin, what are you thinking? Ah, so might she say that to her friends? We need to find a place to hide. I like that. But how are they going to get to where they want to hide? Ah, so they have to. So does that come under the what they have to do? Lila, if you've got an idea. Oh, so they could try to. So let's think about this. All right, so the polywogs trying to keep away from, but they have no legs. So is the camouflaging another question, like how polywogs? I'm just trying to think of how we put camouflage in there with the moving.
Like they could put ocean or poop on them and then camouflage the ocean floor into.
So they could try to do that. Would they be successful though?
No.
We could put that as a part. Maybe they weren't successful, and the lizard still tries to get them. Okay. So what do? So they first try to cover themselves in mud. Is that what or cover themselves in what? Seaweed.
Why is there an O?
I was making bullets because we had lots of things we're going to write into here. First, try to cover themselves with, can I say plants?
Yeah.
Plants. Okay, so first they try to cover themselves with plants. Is that going to work? Is there anybody who still needs this side here? Or can I move this? Back to that side. Ever needed it? Okay. The fish try to cover themselves with plants, but it doesn't work. So what do they try next? You think? What else could they try? Surnay? This one here? Yeah. Okay. So I just asked that, Ms. Surnay. I didn't see you raise your hand. And I said, who still needs this? Sorry. Okay, there you go. You got it. All right. First, they try to cover themselves with plants. Let me see who else has some good ideas here. Let's see. Bird, what do you think they try next? Cover themselves with plants, but it doesn't work, right? Lizard finds them. Or lizard moves them, right? Maybe the lizard, we can get the details later, right? Lizard can move it across, move the plants. They're exposed again. So what else could they try? It's hard, isn't it? I know. I'm putting you on the spot. Is Clara here today? No, Miss Clara. All right, I'll put her back in the bin for now. All right. Some of my friends already have some sharing already. Ben, what do you think? What else could they do to try to get away from the lizard or to not get eaten? Oh, they could, okay, but how are they going to get to the crack? Okay, so they decide, worried they might die. We need to find a hide, so they need to get to someplace to hide, right? So what do they think? Get to someplace to hide. But how are they going to get there? But do they know how to swim right now? What could they try doing to get to that hiding place? Lena? Okay. So what motion could they do?
Wiggle.
Do they try out different motions? How about they try out different jogging? In this case meant like we did that polywogs yesterday or 2 days ago when they move around. Try out different movements. Oh, okay. Try out different movements. Yes, Miss Layla.
Once in the show, I saw that fishes came together to look like something scary to scare away their friends.
Very good. And sometimes the different tadpoles can kind of gather together and try to just protect sort of each other, but usually just some of them get eaten and not all of them. Like you're trying to look like something. Okay, so I like that. We could, that could be something we add in before that possibly, but so now they're getting closer to the solving their problem, right? So different movements. Elena, what are you thinking?
They could fly to, they can all go into different places.
Right, but how are they going to get there? It's all about how they're going to, because what's the main idea of our story? Why do pollywogs wiggle? So we have to focus on the wiggling part. The purpose is to teach, right? To teach them, make up the story about why, the answer, right? Why are they wiggling? They try out different movements. Robert, what are you thinking? Oh, well, it looks like you were. Reaching toward, yeah. Miss Lyric, you have an idea? You forgot. All right. Sunny. Try to cover themselves in mud. So I think, okay, so that could go after the plants, maybe. Okay, we could say mud, question mark, if we need some spots to try to hide. We're talking about movement. Right now, they aren't moving. They're just sitting there in the pond. They got to get away from the lizard. What are they going to do? Lila.
So, they wiggle as fast as they can. You think it's an idea. To be scary. And then when they get closer to the track, they quickly flip inside.
Okay, so they wiggle, and then they maybe do what? So jog is to move back and forth, but they can't do that unless they do what first? You're on the right track, Haley, but what were some of those other movements that they did in the poem? Quiver. Can you get very far if you're quivering? Can you get very far if you're shivering? I think the wiggle and what else did they do? Max. Yes, you guys really like that word in there, jog. Okay, so we're gonna get that jog in there somewhere. Shiver, quiver. What? Jiggle. I like how, did you go back and look at your notes? What a good idea, Miss Lila. Do we have notes that where we said how pollywogs move? In our workbook? Could we go back onto that page and look? They wriggle. They wobble. All right. Do we have some good motions here? Yes. Are they going to be able to get away from? Do you think? Yes. So here's our solution. So we're gonna get that to that idea. How's the problem solved? They figure out how to do what? No, they figure out how to swim, right? And what are they gonna do? They're gonna hide. They're gonna hide. Hide in the crack in the rocks, I think somebody said. All right. Anybody at home have anything they wanted to add to our plan? I'm looking for, so I see some good writing there going on. Jensen, any ideas you want to add to our plan?
Right now.
Okay. Isabella, any ideas you want to add to our plan?
No.
No? All right. Want to make sure you guys are included here. Mr. Gavin, anything you want to add to our plan? Any thoughts? No? All right. Mr. Ethan, sorry. Oh, I see what's going on here. You guys can't see because I've got my little friends here so I can see them. Haley, anything you want to add? No? Mr. Gavin, no, nothing?
Maybe, I'm not sure why or how frogs start out as tadpoles.
Ooh, Mr. Ethan, you gotta get closer to the computer. Say that again.
Do you think poison dart frogs start out as tadpoles?
They do, yes. But
Well, they must be like that big as
they're very
tadpoles.
tiny, yes, because they're tiny,
Can't
aren't
really
they?
see
So do you have anything you want to add to our plan? Anything you want to add to our plan? Anything about our pollywogs trying to get away from our lizard?
Okay.
Nope. Okay, that's all right. I'm giving you. All right. So what's going to happen for the rest of time then? What did the pollywogs learn? All right. So what's the point? Right. So pollywogs learn to wiggle.
Hey, I found this in my pants. Hey,
To
okay, I'll mute it.
get away from predators. Or that's why they wiggle now, right? They have to get away from everybody, right? All right. So is this our whole story? No. This is just our plan. We're gonna get to the writing part after your Thanksgiving break. We're gonna write our sentences and turn it into an actual story, real narrative. But I wanted you to go through the process of how you are going to think when you come up with your story. And the good thing is you have a week, a little over a week, to think about and create a story in your brain about, you don't have to write anything down, but wouldn't it be great to have an idea about a story before you have to sit down and write it? This gives you over a week to think about it. Okay?
Yeah.
Over a week. So think about
Yes.
what kind of question. You don't have to make a decision, but think about all of those why questions we came up with. Why they croak?
Okay.
Well, why don't they make other sounds? You could definitely come up with a story where the frog comes up with all kinds of different ideas. Is he calling out to get help? Is he calling out for his friends? Why is he making noises in the first place? Think about, you can come up with some ideas. Maybe you don't come up with one idea. Maybe you brainstorm and come up with a couple of them. But the idea is to have as many ideas before we have to start writing as possible. Okay? And make it fun. Make it interesting. Yes, Miss Layla.
Do you think you can read it?
Think I can read what? The plan? Oh, so that's our plan, right? So we have characters, Maddie, Bill, Flower, and Phil, right? Maddie's our main character. Then she got some friends, right? Okay, the friends are going to help us over here. So they're scared. So they have a problem, don't they? They are in that savannah, in that pond. They got to get away from Steve. All right, they're worried. So these are the things that our characters are going to be doing. All right, so my friends, we're out of time for today. Hocus pocus. All right, so this is what I'm going to ask you guys to do. I'm just going to ask you to think about what you might want to write about when we come back. We're going to finish our story. When we come back after Thanksgiving, and then you're going to create your own. This gives you some time to think about it before then. All right, my friends at home, hopefully you've got that written down.
Okay.
You've got our plan written down, and you are, so you'll have a good example for when we do it together. All right, my friends, I'm going to see you, some of you at 12:45 and some of you at 2:15. If I don't see you, like Isabella and Logan, have a happy Thanksgiving if I don't see you before then. All right? All right, my friends. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
At the same time, like 1, 2 things.